If you're currently dealing with pain on the outside of your knee, this could be due to an overuse injury called the IT band syndrome. In this video, I'm going to go over what the IT band is, where it attaches, and also give you some exercises that you can do at home to help alleviate your pain. Hi, I'm Eirk, and I want to welcome you to Fitness Integrated Science. In today's video, I'm going to go over the IT band syndrome. Where is the iliotibial band? This is a band of fibrous tissue that actually runs from the iliac crest at the top of the hip and attaches all the way down to the top of the tibia on the lateral condyle. Now, this fibrous tissue makes its connections with a lot of muscles here up at the hip, namely your gluteus maximus and minimus, your outer hamstring, biceps femoris, your tensor fasciae lata, and one of your quadricep muscles, the vastus lateralis. Now, if you think that you're going to go in and massage that iliotibial band and actually make a difference, you're probably going to find that it's not going to work long term. It's only going to give you temporary relief. One of the most important things that we can do to alleviate this problem is look at the muscles that attach into this tissue. Now, what you may notice when you're having this pain is that you're feeling most of the pain when you come from a little bit of a bend into your knee and you go to straighten your knee. I would also take a look at how you're standing and what type of shoes that you're wearing. This is going to be an overuse type of an injury. It's also going to show up when you get past a certain amount of a bend in your knee. So it's really going to be common for people that do a lot of running or cycling. Now, what I want you to have access to for these exercises that I'm going to show you to help to strengthen the muscles that attach into the IT band is I'm going to need you to have some sort of an elastic band. I love these thigh bands because they don't roll up and down your leg, but you can certainly just tie an elastic band around your thigh. So for my first exercise, I want you to come down to the ground. From here, we're going to begin by either coming up onto your elbow, or if that doesn't feel good, just go ahead and lie down on your side. Now we're going to begin with both of the knees bent as well as both of the hips. As you separate the top leg, this is called hip abduction. We're going to be hitting a set of muscles here called the gluteus medius. Now, when we're having this position, what I want you to do is start with an isometric. I'm going to internally rotate my femur bone so that my lower leg actually lifts up above my knee. Using gravity as resistance, I'm going to work on engaging these muscles in the outer hip, and we're just going to hold this anywhere from 5 to 6 seconds with no shaking. When you're done with that, simply come out of the position and rest. Now, if the leg itself felt like it was too heavy, I would put an object like a pillow between the knees to support the weight of the leg. Now, the next time you want to come into it, what you may notice is that you actually have more range due to the carryover effect of the isometric. So once again, as we hold that for 5 to 6 seconds with no cramping or shaking, and then we finally release that. Do that anywhere from 6 to 10 times. That's going to give you immediate relief of pain and dysfunction. Over time, as you get stronger, you may be able to take an elastic band. Now, this is going to add resistance to the exercise. So now when I come into my start position, I'm already feeling a stretch from the band, which is going to put considerable forces across the hip. Next, I add that internal rotation, which you're going to feel goes right into the region that we're trying to hold. Now, if you start to notice that your leg is shaking or quivering, the band is probably too much right now. But make sure you're having adequate rest between repetitions. So again, it's internal rotation, back to neutral, lower down, and back up. This is all going to be a progression that's going to take time for this tissue to actually get stronger. Now, for my next exercise, if we go from the gluteus medius, let's focus on the gluteus maximus. So again, I would start with body weight only. As we come down onto our belly into a prone position, gravity is sitting right on top of us, which gives us a great opportunity to really train these gluteal muscles. Make sure that both of your hips are pressed into the ground. You can feel that bony attachment. We have the ASIS. Bring the arms directly beside you, and I would definitely recommend putting your forehead down flat on the floor, although I'm not going to do it so you can hear me. Begin by bending one of your knees to 90 degrees, the one that you're doing. And I would actually work both sides. Make sure, again, you continue to have that attachment of the ASIS. Then very lightly begin to peel your leg away from the floor. Don't be surprised if your leg doesn't come up very far. That's super, super common. You want to create tension in the outside of the hip. Hold that anywhere again from 5 to 6 seconds with no cramping. Then as you exhale, we release the leg and come down. So for the next time, you may notice that you have more range as you come off the floor or not. Maybe you're at the same position. Over time, if your anatomy allows, you will notice more range of motion. Now, again, as I showed you from the side lying exercise, if you feel like you're getting stronger, simply take an elastic band and put it above the knee. From here, as we lower down onto the belly, we want to separate the legs enough so we have a little bit of tension in the band. Already, we're feeling hip abduction, which is a wonderful thing for the gluteus muscles to hit. So now as we bend the knee, the position is going to feel very different because we're feeling a coupling of the force of gravity as well as the force of the band, which is really going to target that region in the outer hip. Many times, IT band syndrome is caused from lateral hip and lateral knee instability due to weak muscles. So now as we go into our second set again, once more, you may be noticing that you have more range of motion. I caution you though, if you're pushing too hard in the band and start cramping, you may have the opposite effect and actually have too much soreness the next day. Over time, with or without the band, you can move into more of a moving segment as we're moving in and out of the position so that we have more time under tension now that that muscle group is actually working a little bit more efficiently. Now, another great exercise that I want to show you is actually the glute bridge. This is always one of my favorites whenever it comes down into getting those outer hip muscles to be stronger. So first, again, I would start with body weight only. As we lower down onto our back with both of our knees in flexion, bring your shoulders into your sides and lift your chin. From here, I'm going to start with my knees directly over the top of my ankles. From there, I'm just going to lift my hips up to the ceiling. Now, this is going to enable us to not only work our gluteal muscles, but it also helps us to hit that lower back at the same time. Remember, the glutes actually attach way down by the outside of that tibia and then lower that all the way down. Now, as you get stronger, you can actually increase your resistance by moving the feet further away. And what this is going to do is help you to actually start engaging a little bit more of your hamstring muscles because of the distance between the foot and the hip. And if you turn your feet out just a little bit, you're going to hit a little more of that outer hamstring. You could also add a little bit of a pulling action, drawing your heels back to your shoulder to further engage the outer hamstring muscles. Now, over time, as you get stronger, you know what I'm going to say, we can go into the band. I might have to back all the way back here when I start back into my glute bridge, just pushing out into the band, holding that anywhere from 5 to 6 seconds, and then exhale, release. And then eventually over time, as you got stronger, you could open up that range from the back of the knee, which is going to bring in that hamstring region. Now, as you get stronger, as always, this can be done with or without the band. You can start just raising the hips and lowering, coming into more of a calisthenic exercise. So that way, you're experiencing that concentric, eccentric muscle contraction, and you're also putting a little bit more time under tension. That muscle's not getting as much of a rest. This is going to definitely increase the intensity of the exercise and help you to build more muscle strength and endurance. All right. Now, let's go into my last exercise. And for this one, I actually want you to stand up. So as we come over here to the wall, you can see that I've actually got a yoga block sitting here. And this is for a reason. When we have the knee in flexion, the knee actually dives in normally. And this is a part of our normal gait mechanics. When we come into what's called terminal knee extension, there is a little bit of rotation that does happen when I come into knee extension. So that's why I'm going to have you start off with a bent knee, Hold on to a wall, standing up on the block. Then watch as you work towards straightening your leg. Really work on engaging that quadricep region. Hold that for a few seconds. Then exhale and release it. Now, as you feel stronger, what you can do, and this is so great, is go ahead and put that elastic band, just like we did, directly above the knee. Now, what this does is it actually reinforces, as I bend the knee, you can see that that band is going to be actually a little bit more slack. And I want you to notice that as you begin to straighten your leg, without even thinking about it, you're trying to almost push the outer hip, the thigh, or the knee into the band. Now, the knee itself isn't really going sideways. It's happening from the hip, but we do really reinforce the alignment of the knee much better when we have this lateral force. And you can see I'm already sort of moving in and out of position. You could certainly hold this at the top for just a moment and then come out of it and take a little bit of a break. The most important thing is that at the top of this action, you are really working on fully straightening your knee. When we come into that terminal knee extension, this is going to be the optimal place of contact of the knee, and you're going to notice the pain and discomfort of your knee rapidly diminishing over time. Now, one more thing. When you're thinking about IT band syndrome, you may have to make some changes in your lifestyle. Maybe backing away from a lot of running and cycling for a time might be necessary. Try these exercises and see if it helps. If you would like more information on progressive, strength smart workouts and guided programs, make sure to check out my platform, FIS OnDemand. And if you'd like to get into some deeper conversations about strength, aging, and resilience, check out my podcast, Making Muscle Memories. Most of all, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next video.